Good morning, children. Welcome back. Last week we had started with our third lesson for EVS 1, that was the Earth and its living world. In that lesson, we have seen different spheres of the Earth, and we have started with the first one, that was lithosphere. And in lithosphere, we have seen different landforms like valleys, mountains, hills, deserts, farms, and so on. Even we have seen the proportion of land and water on the earth's surface. That is, water content is 71% and land is 29% available on the earth's surface. Even we have seen different continents and oceans that are present on the earth's surface. We know their names and we have seen them, that how many they are in number. So now today we are going to start with our next topic in the lesson, that is hydrosphere. Now hydrosphere is related to what, as I have taught you in the last week video? Yes, it is related to the water. So we are going to see different water bodies that are present on the earth's surface. Beginning with the first one is the coastal region. Now the land along the margins of the oceans, we know that these oceans are present. So the land that is available along the margins, that is available next to the water bodies, they are called as the coastal regions. And water bodies of different shapes and sizes are formed along the coast. It can be small, it can be large, depending. Okay, we have seen last week that landforms are there on the earth's surface, and the landforms that are present on the earth's surface are uneven. They are not equal. We have seen plateaus, valley, how they are formed. In the same way, water bodies are also not equal in proportion. They may be smaller, they may be larger. So let's see one by one each. As today we are going to start with hydrosphere. In hydrosphere, we are going to see different water bodies that are present on the earth's surface, like rivers, rills, icebergs, glacier, bay, sea, strait, and so on. We have already seen what is the coastal region, and we know that what are the oceans we have seen in the map. Moving on to the next one is sea. The expanse of salt water that cover most of the earth's surface and surround its land masses. That is, the sea is a huge water body, but it is smaller as compared to the oceans, and it had expanded in such a way that it is near the land surface, so they are connected to each other. Now after sea, let's see which is the next one. Yes, it is the bay. Now bay, what are they? They are the large water bodies connected to the oceans. You can see that they are the large water bodies and they are connected to the oceans that are present on the earth's surface. So we can see that these water bodies which are connected towards the oceans, they are called as bays. We have seen what are seas and bays. So in India also we are having sea and bay, and they are present in the south part of India. So we are having Arabian Sea and we are having Bay of Bengal. As they come, they are present, they come and join in the ocean. And we are having Indian Ocean. So they come and meet in the Indian Ocean. That is the Sea and Bay of Bengal. They are present towards the land surface. The land surface and the water bodies are connected. And so they are called as the coastal regions. Moving on to the next part is your strait. What are they? It is a narrow passage of water connecting, that it is a narrow passage of water body. They are the small part of the water body, but when they are connecting, they are going and connecting to the two seas, or they are connecting to any other larger water bodies. So these are the straits, but they are smaller in size as compared to oceans or seas. After strait, your next is Gulf. Now what are Gulf? Gulf is a deep inlet of sea. It is just like a sea, and it is almost surrounded by the land with the narrow mouth. That is, you can see in the picture that how it is surrounded by the land surface and it is having a narrow mouth, that is its mouth is small. So it is compared to sea, but it may not be that much huge like a sea. So this is your gulf. Next is your creek. Now what are they? They are the small water bodies. You can see in the picture it is small, and from the sides it is having presence of rocks, and rocks are present on the land surface. So what it is? It is a small water with its tributaries meeting into a river. So this is a water body that comes and joins to a river. Now we have seen water bodies, that is sea, bay, strait, gulf, creek. So these water bodies are the part of ocean. They join the oceans. They meet the oceans. Now they are present near the oceans, that is they come and join in the oceans. Now there are some other water bodies that are present on the surface of the earth. So these water bodies are called as surface water. Now what is surface water? That is they are present on the land surface. So there are many streams of water flowing over the land, and this water is not salty but it is fresh. We know that the water that is present in the oceans or seas are salty, but the water that is present on the surface of the earth, that is not salty, it is fresh, and this fresh water is being used for drinking purpose. So these streams of water may be rills, brooks, streams, rivers, waterfall. Now let's see each one by one. Rills, brooks and streams are the smaller water bodies. They are narrow. You can see in the rills, you can see a small water coming from the land surface. That is, the land surface is cut and in middle the water is flowing. In the same way it is with the brooks. You can see that it is a small stream and either they are cut by the rocks or they are cut by the soil. Now in the streams you can see that it is cut with the rocks. The presence of rocks are there, and middle that portion that is flowing is your water. So all these three water bodies are narrow in size. The next is your river. Now rivers are a natural flowing water course, usually fresh water, and they are flowing towards the oceans or seas or lakes or another river. Now the presence of river on the earth is more in number, as we know that the water content is more. In the same way, there are many rivers. Some are small in size, some are big in size. So the smaller rivers, what they do, they join either to the ocean, either to the sea or to any other big river. So they are joining to these bigger water bodies. Rills, brooks, streams join each other to form rivers. Now rivers which join to make a bigger river are called its tributaries. Now these small rivers, when they are small in size, they flow and they come and join either to a ocean, to a sea or to a lake. So when these smaller rivers are going and joining to a bigger river, they are called as its tributaries. You can see that this is a map of India, and you can see that there are many rivers in India. You can read their names. But you all must be wondering that why this R is written before the name. So this R represents river. So it is called as River Narmada, River Godavari, River Tapi, and so on. And you can even see these blue lines. So these blue lines tell us that water, that is a river. So this is representing the rivers that are present in India. Moving on to the next is your waterfall. Now at certain places you can see river cascades. Huge mountains will be there, rocks will be there, and suddenly a drop of water is falling down. So it is called as waterfall. Now these waterfalls eventually go and join in the rivers, and in return these rivers, the water that are flowing in the rivers, go and join into the ocean. So Sometimes while traveling through the train, you might have seen in the rainy season from the tunnels or from the rocks, big rocks, water is flowing. So what it is? Yes, it is a waterfall. Next is your lakes. Now what are they? A water body formed by water collecting naturally in a low-lying area of land is called a lake. Now low-lying area means what? The land surface, the height is below the low level. So that is why these are present in the low-lying areas. So these are formed naturally by collecting the water. So there are many lakes in India as well as in Maharashtra. There are many lakes in Maharashtra. So, do you know how many lakes are there in Maharashtra? There are 23 lakes in Maharashtra, and Thane is famous for its lakes. Now, we are having one famous lake in Maharashtra that was formed due to the meteorite. So, that is the Lonar Lake, and Lonar Lake is present in Buldana district, that is present in Maharashtra state. Now we have studied about different water bodies. We know that water is present either in the form of flowing or it is stagnant, still at one place. Even we have seen surface water. But do you all know that water is present in the form of ice also? Yes, water is present in the form of ice also, but it is present in the form of ice in cold regions, not in the warm climatic regions. The water particles get collected in the clouds in the same way how the water cycle process takes place. So, these water particles when gets collected in the clouds because of the cool temperature it freezes, and when it falls down it is not falling in the form of rain but it is falling in the form of snow like a ball, and when the layers of snow pile up on the ground they form ice. You might have seen that you keep the books and books are always considered to be kept in a bundle. So, in the same way, these snow, when they are falling on the surface of the earth, on the land surface, they pile up and they are forming ice, and such layer of ice pile up in a low lying area and they become very huge in size, enormous, very big in size. And sometimes what happen when this ice, that huge mass of ice, when it slopes when it falls down from a slope, it falls in a very slow speed. That is, when you see a bundle of books are becoming more and more, and if you keep going on keeping the books one above the other, what will happen? At certain place it may fall down. In the same way, this ice slips down in a slow speed, and this is called as a glacier. That is the formation of ice that slips down slowly. It is called as a glacier. Now we know that the snow that is falling is piling up into the form of ice, and we have seen that how it is forming in the huge enormous size. So we know that on the landforms we have seen mountains. These mountains are made up of rocks, but the mountains that are made up of ice are called as glaciers. You can see that how the ice is piled up and they are forming the glaciers. As it is made up of water, because of the global warming, these glaciers are turning into water. Already we have seen that we are having 71% of water, but some water that is present is in the form of snow or ice, and if it gets started melting, again the water level will rise and this will create a problem. Next part is your icebergs. We know that the huge blocks of ice are formed, and these huge blocks of ice, they are floating in the sea. They are moving here and there. They are floating in the sea and they are called as icebergs. If you might have seen Titanic movie, in that big ship is there, and that ship, that cruise is getting hit with the iceberg that is present in the water. So how strong it is, how that huge mass, because of hitting with one cruise ship, how it gets damaged and a hole creates all the problem in the ship. So these icebergs, we find it that they are white and they are very soft and nice, but they are very huge and they are strong enough. We know that the water is present in the form of ice or snow. Moving on to the next part is your wells. You can see in the picture, wells are there. Now the wells are having water. But how this water comes from? Yes, the water that is present in the wells is groundwater. That is, besides the water bodies on the earth's surface, there is a lot of water stored in the underground layers of rock. That is, we know that the earth's surface is there and below that soil is there. But below this soil there are rocks and inside these rocks there is water. So you might have heard about bore wells. You might have heard about wells. So these wells or bore wells that are there, they are having water from the ground. You might be living in the building and you must be aware about the borings. That is, you get the water from the boring. How these borings are fixed? They are fixed inside the earth. So they try to get the water from the earth's surface. Now we know that rain is falling and this water is getting soaked into the soil and reaching below the rocks. So this water is in the form of groundwater. Many lakes and wells get water from underground springs. That is, water coming from the underground. If you might have visited to Ganpati Pule, you might have heard about water springs are there. That is, water is present naturally. It is coming from the underground. That water, hot water springs are there and they are coming naturally from the ground surface. So they are what? They are ground water. So in the hydrosphere, different water bodies are there and they are present in the form of either snow or ice, in the form of surface water or in the form of groundwater. Even these water bodies lead to the evaporation of water in the atmosphere that together forms the earth hydrosphere. That means lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere together lead to the formation of biosphere. They are correlated to each other. So, I hope you have understood the video. We'll be meeting in the next video with the next part of the lesson. Till then, take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.